Hi guys, my name is Ariana. There's been a long time that I have not recorded a video in English. Most of my videos I recorded in Portuguese because English is not my first language, but I need to pass you an important information of some people that might be suffering as having parents as Jehovah's Witnesses, and I need to pass you guys this information for you to know that psychopathy is a psychological condition that affects many people, and therefore who is surrounded by psychopaths will always suffer, because psychopathy has as a main characteristic the lack of empathy, and also an exaggerated level of narcissism or selfishness. I will through this video talk to you guys, share with you a terrible experience. I will speak about a specific individuals, a specific family that I have come across while I was associating with Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, so since English is not my first language, most of the information I will be reading, and I will try my best to express myself the best I can so that you guys can understand what I'm saying. The topic of this video is Elizabeth the Swedish wants the death of Rosalinda Francisco. Why do I say that? That's a serious accusation. Yes, it is. That's a shocking accusation that it is a shocking accusation. But Elizabeth is the janitor, the female janitor of Rosalind Francisco. She is in an interracial fake marriage among Jehovah's Witnesses. She fakely married to Pedro Francisco, which is from the country I come from, which is Angola. Yeah, and they have two children, Pedro Francisco and Elizabeth the Swedish, which has a high levels of psychopathy. They are attending in a Portuguese-speaking congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses. They live in Greenford, and I know them since 2002, 2003, while I was one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and when I was attending in a Portuguese-speaking congregation located in Heath Road in Battersea. Those who watch this video and that were part of that congregation will easily identify and recognize me. So basically, I'll just read a little bit of what I have written and then come into details of the content of this video, of the information that I want to share with you. So before I proceed with this content, or before I proceed with content of this video, I would like to inform you that I'm talking about the most manipulative sect denominated as Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses claim to be a religious institution when in fact they are a sect. They are a group of people that clearly apart themselves from the rest of the society, claiming and preaching, preaching the truth about God, when in fact their teachings are based in psychopathy, sociopathy, and severe narcissism and other personality disorders. Okay, so why do I affirm that? What is psychopathy? I will not come into details of what psychopathy is. Each of you can Google in the internet what is psychopathy. But basically, psychopaths have as main characteristic, they like to be on the top of everything. They like high positions in a corporate institutions, you know. They are extremely jealous. They hate people without reason, and they like slaves. They like to be served and they don't like to serve. So female psychopaths, okay, female psychopaths that decide to to have children, to give birth, they see as their children being their slaves, okay? They see their children as being their slaves. So what happens is that when a psychopath put him or herself together with a human being, there are very big probabilities to give a birth to a human, so they can extract the narcissistic supply and regulate their emotions as much as they can, because psychopaths, they do not attract psychopaths, otherwise they would kill each other. So they on purpose put themselves in a relationship with a person who shows to be an empath, so that they can regulate their emotions. They can also distinguish right from wrong, because many times they don't know how to distinguish. They are unable to interpret emotional language. So everything that Jehovah's Witnesses spread about the Bible is distorted, is inverted, is not correct, is not accurate, simply because they are unable to love. They are impaired to love. They have emotional blockages, so they are not able to interpret an emotional language. So I have to add, before I talk about the experience that I have witnessed in regards to Elizabeth threatening Rosalind of attending these meetings, I will briefly tell you, resuming, why can everyone be sure that Elizabeth the Swedish, which is married to an Angolan called Pedro Francisco, has high characteristics of being a psychopath. She makes life of Rosalind a living hell, because she cannot even dance. Elizabeth cannot dance and hates the fact that Rosalind is able to feel the rhythm and dance inclusively Kizomba, which is a dance from Angola. So you guys need to identify well the family, this fake family, fake interracial family that I'm talking to you about. So I'm talking you guys about Elizabeth the Swedish. She is Swedish national. She is fakely married with Pedro Francisco. They have 2 children, which is Rosalinda Francisco, which does not want and repeatedly says to her mother that she doesn't like to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses, but she wouldn't care. Elizabeth, she will sometimes lose her control and scream at Rosalind and threaten her. So basically what I want to tell you guys is that Rosalind, since she was born up to today, she must be around 24, 25, 26 years old. She has always been threatened that she must wear the clothing they wear. They are controlled in regards to the internet. Everything that connects those children to the rest of society is banned by the psychopathic parents, because in fact Elizabeth does not want that Rosalind finds out that she is a potential psychopath. So she has methods of manipulation to maintain Rosalind slaving for her, because psychopaths, they measure, how can I say, they will look at others with quantities. They will judge people by nationality, skin color, amount of money, status. That's how they judge people, and therefore judging that way, they will always obey, speak with, and respect people whom they think that deserve their respect and attention. So it's to tell you guys that Rosalind, I'm not using the words, the titles mother and daughter, because mother and daughter are titles that's supposed to be used among families which overflow with love. And even if the families do not overflow with love, which is a bit exaggerated, let's say, but there is love there. There is love, there is affection, there is bond, you know. And among psychopaths, this does not exist. So I wanted to tell you guys, to share with you, I wanted to let you know that if anything happens to Rosalind or William Francisco, thinks about death or suicidal ideation, death through suicidal or anything else, the first people to be investigated should be Elizabeth, because she is the one who does not give the freedom to Rosalind and William Francisco, thinking that they are objects, they are her possession. It was her decision, according to her, that they are in this world, so they are to obey her. So it's very important to outline and emphasize here that psychopaths do not believe in rights. They know that the rights exist. They know that local authorities exist. They know that punishment exists, and for that reason they hide themselves, and everything they do, they tend to blame others or always come out as innocent. So I want you guys to know that there are many psychopathic parents among Jehovah's Witnesses. Many members of them are psychopaths. So the family that I wanted to know that is really psychopathic is that one, because I have experienced in 2006. I went to Elizabeth's house in Greenford. She lives in Greenford, and at the time Rosalind was about 7-8 years old, and that day Rosalind didn't want to go to the meetings, and she would be shocked, would be nervous, like, I cannot accept that this was in front of me. Why did, and she went to the kitchen, took the knife and put under the neck of Rosalind, saying that she must attend the meeting. It's nothing, it's not something that she is to show willingness to go or not. It's a must. So when I saw that, I was shocked. And I will tell you why did Elizabeth did that in front of me. Elizabeth did that in front of me because at the time I didn't have papers in this country. Okay, I haven't been granted leave to remain here. So she knew, according to her thinking, that I was nobody. So she acted the way she thought that she could act. Okay, and they never thought, I am referring to the most outstanding psychopaths among Jehovah's Witnesses, among Portuguese speaking congregations of Jehovah's Witnesses, which are Paul Williamson, the veteran, the 99, I think he's 99 or 98 years old. He's one of the outstanding psychopaths within the Portuguese congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, and Elizabeth. And there are more psychopaths within this organization. And just to resume that Jehovah's Witnesses, they have financially power. They are owners of big graphics where they produce literature. So they have this facility, and easily they will alter the Bible according to their will to deceive people, making people believe that the name of God is Jehovah, and spreading all this nonsense that they have been spreading. And at the end of the day, you will not celebrate your birthday, you will not celebrate Christmas, you will not celebrate New Year, you will not be able to, they will forbidden you, they'll try to invert the Bible, saying that people are not allowed to give or receive blood transfusions, ignoring completely the right of the patient. So they themselves, they admit by their behavior and some with their words that the world and the society is not made for them, because they cannot adapt themselves within laws that are, you know, governing our society. So basically this video was meant to let you guys know that there might be children that are suffering with parents that are Jehovah's Witnesses, that are in fact persuaded to not to love their children, by not give them voice and choice to choose what they want to do in their lives, forcing them to continue and maintain them slavering for this sect, which in fact they serve as narcissistic supply for the psychopaths, with their presence attending these meetings where they learn nothing but nonsense. Okay, so this family is to be well identified. It's made of it's an interracial family. I will say again, Elizabeth and Pedro Francisco are fakely married. They are genitors of Rosalind and William Francisco, which they forbidden with threats those children not to abandon the sect. Okay, they forbidden the children to not to continue being Jehovah's Witnesses, using different methods, the ones that I've just mentioned to you: threatenings in the house, you know, money, compliments, fake compliments about the clothing, that they are beautiful, using the verse of the Bible that mostly I will read for you just to end this video. The verse of the Bible that most janitors, psychopathic janitors, use to maintain maintain their children in slavery. So that verse is Ephesians. I'll read in the Bible. I have here, let me just show you which Bible I have. I have the English Standard Version, guys. I will read for you the favorite verse of psychopathic females that they use to maintain their children in the slavery. And that's the verse that Elizabeth the Swedish uses to maintain Rosalind captive. Okay, it's Ephesians 6:1-3. Let me just find, I will find. Bear with me, guys, just a little bit of patience. So Ephesians, I found Ephesians 6:1-3. It says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and your mother. This is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may live long in the land." You see? So when when psychopathic females don't want to give freedom to their children and want to force the children to do what they want, okay, they read these verses, okay? And you will come to see, if you open your mind and you start to do a self-study of the Bible, you will see that Jesus, he had a different approach talking to psychopaths, which in that time were the Pharisees, and a different approach with his disciples. So Jesus knew exactly who he was talking to, just to tell you that, and he had different approaches. And also to tell you that God is so wonderful that when you start to consume content about psychopathy, sociopathy and narcissism, you will see that God is so intelligent that put some verses in the Bible to make people identify psychopaths. And to end this video, to finish this video, I'll just read for you the clear identification of psychopathy, which is written in 2 Timothy. Let me see, 2 Timothy 3:1-5. So I will come to 2 Timothy. Okay, 2 Timothy is a great description here of what psychopathy is. Obviously, in that time, in Jesus' time, in the apostles' time, there were not this denomination, didn't exist, of psychopathy, sociopathy, and so on. But we can see here a clear description of psychopathy. I will then read for you guys so that you can understand what psychopathy is. But understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. For people will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unpleasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving God, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness but denying its power. Avoid such people. You see? So that's the clear description of what psychopathy is. But bear in mind about the family that I'm talking to you about. Rosalind Francisco might be it's for sure suffering for years, having a psychopathic mother such as Elizabeth is, right? And she might commit suicidal. She's also thought that she cannot access the local authorities in order to defend herself, because what psychopaths wants you to believe, it's that they are willing for your best interest, giving you all these expensive gifts and then stopping you from being happy and having your choices and having your autonomy, you know, and overall being happy. So be, guys, aware of this family and what might happen, what could happen to Rosalind and William Francisco having a psychopathic mother as Elizabeth is. Thank you for your attention. The next video, I think I will talk about the name of God, which for certain it's not Jehovah. Thank you guys, and until the next video.